Hi there. Welcome to Apple World. So the mother of Beyonce's stepbrother just uncovered Beyonce for overlooking her stepbrother and declining to seek after a relationship with him, and I got Gandhi. Past treachery is crazy. Like this is on the fringe of, and not to be attempted about this well. The web isn't on the side of this way of behaving, and Beyonce has experienced harsh criticism. Yet again for overlooking her relative and declining to be a decent, more established sister to him. However, is it actually Beyonce's place to accommodate him? And why has she promised to have nothing to do with her sibling, so she distraught on the grounds that Beyonce won't assist with dealing with? Us, her child otherwise known as Beyonce's sibling, so Beyonce is a moving subject via online entertainment. And this time, she is getting hauled in light of the fact that individuals feel a sort of way about her overlooking her half-kin and not providing them with an assistance despite the fact that her stepbrother seriously needs all the assist that he with canning, get on the grounds that he has been battling downright horrendous. Now the subject of her half-kin is one subject that Beyonce could do without to discuss, and she has never recognized them. The significant justification for this is that her father Matthew Knowles fathered the kids beyond his union with their mother Tina Wells, and this painted the breakdown of their marriage. Yet the thing is, the marriage previously had heaps of issues since there had forever been reports circumventing that Matthew had forever been undermining Tina. Word on the roads is that he was having loads of undertakings with various ladies all simultaneously. However, he was in every case exceptionally cautious not to get anybody pregnant. Well, here's karma. Before long ran out and he wound up getting not only one lady yet two distinct ladies pregnant. Not one of his child mothers is a lady named Takoya Branscombe, with which he has a little girl named Bashful now. Shy has a functioning way of life, and from her Instagram page, it seems as though she's a motivating powerhouse. Malcoy is the second kid that was brought into the world from Matthew's undertaking. Yet we're going to get to the main kid shortly, so Coy has no relationship with Beyonce. She has never at any point met her, and like I said, Beyonce likes to imagine that she doesn't exist. Sequoia uncovered quite a while back that she gravely needed Beyonce expressing Corey to get to know one another, yet that was rarely going to happen. She said they are relatives and perhaps one day down the line that can be made conceivable anyway. Assuming B and Solange presently can't seem to meet their stepbrother, we don't think the last part kid is the appeal yet. Things weren't so awful for Demure in light of the fact that Takoy had sufficient the means to deal with her anyway. This wasn't true. For Matthew's more seasoned kid, a kid named Nixon, since Nixon's mother Alexandra went belly up not long after he was conceived. Things turned out to be really harsh for them. She is presently at last recounting the narrative of how Matthew destroyed her, as well as his whole family maintained that nothing should do with her or her child. Now for a piece of origin story. Alexander was the main lady that Matthew got pregnant prior to getting Demure's mother pregnant a couple of months after the fact. And this simply demonstrates that he was over here being wild. In a new meeting, Alexandra uncovered that they met when Matthew was attempting to arrange bargains for Beyonce. As her supervisor, she said, "I met him after I began working in PR for Microsoft in 2007. He needed to do a general diversion bargain for his girl. He had a great deal of swagger and he was exceptionally tenacious. He said, 'I will remain in Seattle until you consented to have a beverage with me,' and he remained for half a month and at long last, I said fine. I was not clashed about the circumstance since his marriage was not a working marriage, so it seems like she succumbed to the most established stunt in the books. When a wedded man lies about his marriage being over, this was a huge untruth since he and Tina remained married until he fathered another youngster Demure outside the marriage, and Tina noped out of that marriage. Additionally, Alexandra's issue with Matthew went on for a considerable length of time before she got pregnant. So assuming he was truly going to leave Tina, he certainly would have got it done. Yet who not long after Alexandra let Matthew know that she was pregnant, he figured out that he was being examined by Beyonce on the grounds that she thought that he was taking cash from her. Now we as a whole expertise terrible case finished on the grounds that she wound up terminating him for taking from her, and this was the defining moment in his relationship with Alexandra in light of the fact that he took Tally transformed. She said we had joint charge cards and financial balances, and after the review began, he just cut them off. I left him and he didn't anticipate that I should pursue the decision. I finished it since I'm superior to that, so Matthew's cash was evaporating, and Alexandra chose to go for a stroll. However, at that point, Matthew took his action when he attempted to reject that he was the dad of her child. Now it appears like it's Matthew's mode to deny paternity of his adoration kid since the That is exactly the same thing that he did to Corey's mother when she let him know that she was pregnant when you told Matthew Knowles that you were pregnant with his kid. How could he respond him, especially, well, you can't get pregnant by me. You realize it can't be, my kid can't deny it once DNA test comes out 99.9% that you are the dad. Well, Alexandra likewise took a DNA test that demonstrated that he was the dad she brought forth their child Nixon. However, Matthew was uninterested in moving forward and being a dad. Alexandra guaranteed that she spent more than $250,000 in lawful charges attempting to inspire him to get a sense of ownership with their child and pay kid support. It got so terrible that she got removed from her loft back in 2014, and photos of her crying on the roads immediately became a web sensation. She was sufficiently fortunate to get support from a destitute care group who assisted her with getting convenience in a trailer park. A destitute care group was set up for the trailer so Alexandra wouldn't be out in the city after she had to go on open help. I'm in a battle for my child's privileges. I moved past 1,000 demise dangers last week alone, and she likewise focused on how she felt deceived by Matthew. Do you feel deceived by Matthew? No doubt, I imply that is most certainly something yet. And I must be straightforward, it's gone. Past selling out, this is ludicrous, like this is the on borderline of and not to be attempted about this nauseating now, while things have gotten somewhat better for her throughout the long term. Her conditions haven't worked on a parcel, and in one late meeting with the child she focused on how Beyonce has never contacted meet her child Nixon and how seriously this has been influencing the kid. She uncovered that they live just 10 miles from Beyonce's new $200 million chateau, yet this has never or really further developed their relationship. She said Beyonce is a tycoon and just purchased the most costly house in California, 10 miles from where we reside. However, no, there has not been any contact. The aggravation actually needs to recuperate. My principal concern has been managing that youngster that inquires as to, for what reason doesn't that individual love me? I sit in the washroom and cry some of the time since I simply don't have the foggiest idea how to assist him with being his own individual. She additionally uncovered that individuals at Nixon's school would frequently get some information about Beyonce, assuming she's really his sister, and Alexandra guaranteed that this main cause caused the kid to feel much more agony. Now I comprehend how the kid feels since he is honest and ought not be made to experience the conditions. Unchangeable as far as he might be concerned yet, Alexandra clarified that she had no assumptions from Beyonce and wasn't anticipating freebies yet. Beyonce actually went under a ton of fire for not aiding her sibling out, despite the fact things were terrible for himself and he was even destitute. Sooner or later, individuals felt like she's a tycoon, so disliked she was excessively bankrupt to accomplish something, yet this isn't whenever that Beyonce first has been called out for this since India. Individuals have consistently discussed how peculiar it is that she doesn't recognize or have kin. Last year, rapper Azealia Banks raised the point, saying, would we at any point get a report on Koinos? You know, your younger sibling. You think we disregarded this French espresso knee-high white? Muscular Wallaby Fellowship spot, Sunday School Baptist cornbread hairpiece dance is peppy when the blue ivy and coin nose photographs drop. Indeed, this is definitely not another point. However, Alexandra's meeting began a conversation online, and they got individuals gabbing.